everyone. How are you doing? Oh my goodness, I am super happy to be here and I hope you all are as well. Please say hi in the comment section. Let us know that you're already here and you are live. If you are not live and you're watching the replay, just put on replay, but just still say hi. We love when people are engaging, and this is actually the best time, right? To play on with a game and also wish you a happy new year 2024. And again, don't feel shy. Just say hi in the comment. Today I want to talk to you about, using games to increase productivity, to reduce mental health, sickness, to increase your level of understanding around accessibility. You know what? I have the perfect guest today to talk about what is called gamification, and I am gonna bring him on board. So don't feel shy, say hi in the comment, and I am gonna invite Kevin to join me. Please say hi to Kevin. Hi, Kevin. How are you
Hello.
doing?
How are you? Thanks for having me. Excited to be here.
Oh my goodness. Thank you for joining me, first of all. And what a way to open up 2024 talking about gaming. But you know what? I'm going ahead of the time. Please, Kevin, introduce yourself to the audience, and let me know why you're passionate about what you're doing.
Yeah, absolutely. So a little bit about myself. I'm the VP of development here at Good Games. I've been with the company for about a year now. I have a little background. I think why we connected. I have a background in disability inclusion. So prior to joining Good Games, I worked for a company called Disability Solutions, a wonderful company doing great work for employers looking to really amplify their disability inclusion practices and really focused on the hiring and recruiting of people with disabilities, and obviously accessibility, help with accommodations, all that wonderful stuff came to play. So I'm excited to work with Good Games. We use game tools, and we'll get into that a little bit. I'll let you ask the question. We use game tools to really create engagement, interactivity, and really help companies do better. Meetings are really boring. Presentations are really boring. So these game tools really do help, create a lot of productivity with engagement and interactive, game tools.
Well, love it, love it. Talking about a person supporting and helping inclusion with diverse people, with diverse talent, and making it even fun with gaming. I hear you when you said that meetings are boring. Reading a lot of documentations are boring. Sometimes we still need to level up the skills that we have, but having to read all those documents, having to be in training for hours. Please bring some games. Let us play. I love it. I see Teresa said hi, Kevin.
Hey,
Hi,
Teresa.
Teresa. She said hi. Hi, Kevin and Flora. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Please, again, audience, do not feel shy. This is the time to play and just bring the child in you out. Just say hi. And if you have any question at any point in time, just put the question in the comment section. And trust me, we will make sure to address it. But first of all, I am very curious. What is gamification, Kevin?
Sure, it's a great question. So there's kind of different versions of gamification at times, and we're trying to educate on what we do. So gamification is sometimes known as like reward gamification, where if you do a couple of different things, different tasks, you get rewarded and you get points, and you're able to, buy a cup of coffee, or you could, get some points towards something else you want to buy. We really don't do that reward gamification. Our gamification, again, is using game tools and activities throughout presentations and trainings and meetings, again, to make it more proactive, make it more engaging. As I said before, a lot of us find meetings boring. A lot of us find presentations boring. I go to a lot of conferences, and there's such great content out there, but a lot of people are just on their phones, catching up on emails. We want those to be engaging because that's really important information. We're there to learn. So what we do is gamification really, it's proven really activate the brain. What we do, it really triggers the release of different things like dopamine, serotonin, endorphins, and the response that our participants get makes them feel good. And when you feel good, it really levels and increases that capacity to learn, retain that information, and actually pay attention. How many times are we multitasking during our trainings, our education, or even our meetings, right? So it also reduces some of the stress, and it increases one's capacity to really process that information. And it really just helps learners learn, and again, we want to be really interested in it. So research shows definitely that gamification does enhance individuals' performance, task commitment, overall performance. So again, our gamification uses these game tools to increase those information we're trying to do. Again, creating that engagement and interaction with employees. So we're getting something out of what we're learning, and there to talk about as well.
Oh, I love it. I love it. I can tell just from experience, whenever I am playing a game, trust me, I am not multitasking. I'm not playing the game and reading books. That's not happening. I am in the game. And I love that concept that the gamification that your company is providing is really tailored toward a goal, a specific goal. And
Yeah.
if it's around a specific topic or something like that, you really gain a lot from that goal oriented
Mhm.
game and engagement, which is fantastic. Oh, by the way, audience, we are going to play a game at the end of the session. So please stay till the end. You are going to have fun. Let's
Yep.
discover the game with Kevin. Kevin has already set up the game. I'm going to send a link. Kevin, can we send the link right now so that they have it open, or we can do it later on? It's really up to you.
We can do it now as well. Let me just copy the link. Yeah, I don't think I have
Okay, perfect.
access to the chat, but I'm going to send it to you if you don't
Yes.
mind, and then you can set it off. Is that all right?
Let me do that now. So I
Yeah.
am sending the link right now. I think that we should be able to see the link. You should be able to see the link in the comment section, hopefully everywhere. I can see that popping on YouTube, on Facebook, hopefully on LinkedIn. Please, if you are on LinkedIn and you don't see any comment with the link, can you just let us know by commenting? That would be
Yep.
awesome. But hopefully it's there as well. It's sometimes hard to kind of check everything at the same time. And I saw someone, Kirsten said, hi, my friend. I'm so happy you made it from
Awesome.
Boston. Yes, so happy you're here. All right, so I think that we should be having that link as well here. If not, I can add it here. So I'm
Yeah.
just gonna add it in on LinkedIn, and that's why I'm using my second screen. If you see my face over
Yeah.
there, I'm not seeing the link. Okay, thank you, Kirsten. I just added the link on LinkedIn directly.
And just
Sometime
yeah,
the
just let you know
technical
there's a smaller link I put up there too, and then I'll have a QR code too. You can scan with your phone if you want to use your
Okay,
phone.
I didn't grab the last one. I just pasted the previous one. Is that okay, Kevin? Or
Yeah, that's good. That should work. That's work. If people want to
okay,
click on it,
perfect.
if you need to type it in. That's it's a little easier.
All right, so perfect. You can use that link, and then I believe so. Yes, we should be good. So, Kirsten, can you let me know if you can see the link now? I know you mentioned that you couldn't before. Just let me know. I think that we should be good.
Cool.
Oh,
And I
she
got
said,
I'll
I
share it
still
before we
don't
close
see
it.
it. Why? Hi, Teresa. Teresa said she still don't see it. But I pasted it directly on the event link. So probably let's give it a little bit of time, or just refresh quickly your page. You should be able to see it. Hopefully. Sometimes it's so hard to manage the tag. I am not sure why, but yes, I pasted it directly on the event comment section, so we should be okay. But let's see. So very quickly, now that we understand the gamification, I wonder, just a quick question as well to the audience. Have you ever played any game at work to enhance your productivity and to enhance your knowledge? Let me know in the comment section. I'm always curious because some people or some organization or some teams are leveraging games, but some are not. Now, here's the question for you, Kevin. What is the impact of gamification on productivity?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what our games are designed to do. So sometimes when we talk about, games. People expect all these wild graphics and whatnot, but we don't do that. Our games are designed specifically to, again, enhance interactive, create productivity. Engagement is very important, especially nowadays. So what we do, we actually started working with the International Red Cross, working with them, and we created a game to help countries learn and educate, or start to help and educate countries on how to prepare for global warming using game tools. How silly is that, right? So a game to really help them understand what insurance to get, different types of things that can happen, disasters. So with that, we created a game to really help prepare countries for global warming. And Good Games has a really good mission of doing good. It's in our title, right? So we really work with companies that are trying to do a lot of stuff that are really good for the world, including the Power Up Mental Health session that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But again, these are popular uses are in training and workshops. Again, there's a better training experience. You know, how many people are excited to go to training? I did a training about 6 months ago, and I went to a room of about 100 people, and I was like, "Who couldn't sleep last night because they wanted to go to a training?" And of course, nobody's excited, right? No one's ever like, "Hey, I got trained tomorrow. I can't wait to go." We kind of want to change that. We want to make training fun and engaging, and more importantly, again, getting something out of it. It's also good. Like, again, we talked about meetings. There's so much wasted money on meetings. How many meetings we have gone to that, could have been an email. We like to say meetings now could have been a game, and you could actually get productive out of it. We really streamlined the process of kind of the brainstorming sessions and getting ideas out, new ideas, and looking at challenges, and not just focusing on the challenges, but how do we make actions out of that? And we use a rant game to do that. Again, it's really good for presentations. I mentioned going to conferences and just seeing all these heads down, or the presenter being like, "Hey, I want this to be interactive," and no one answers or a question or raises their hand. So our game tools really do help that productivity. And again, we have a mind span right now that's very low, right? Like, we have articles that tell you that's in a minute read, because if it wasn't a minute read, we probably wouldn't read it. So these game tools really help you focus in, engage, again, interact with your audience, and really help get that productivity you're looking for in a smaller time, which is very important to us nowadays.
Love it, love it. And I think that, when it comes to presentation, it's really given to the presenter to kind of engage the person. And not all presenters are really hypes and also bring people to wake up, to feel it, and to engage.
Yeah.
Sometimes in meetings, yes, the presenter wants the engagement, but people are not engaging. And sometimes it's also due to fear. People want to be remain anonymous, right? Sometimes they're fearing that, oh, if they say something and it's not right, people are now going to judge them based on the question they ask, or maybe based on the answer. But sometimes when it comes to gaming, there is also that privacy in place. But anyway, I'm going again ahead of time. We are going to see a little bit of how this game is going to unfold with Kevin. But Kevin, before we move and start playing the game, I have another question, because you very well highlight the importance and the impact of gamification in productivity. But I wonder, what is the impact again of gamification on the topics around how do you call it again, accessibility of and so much more. Can you talk a little bit about it?
Yeah, absolutely. So I, again, with a disability inclusion background, accessibility is, I was in that bubble of, everything's got to be accessible and helping employers be more accessible. And then I started working in the game field and doing trainings and presentations, and I kind of outside that bubble a little bit more, and I realized how people aren't really understanding what accessibility is, and maybe thinking it's too much of a work to try to do. But you're losing a lot of not only job applications or job seekers, but you're also losing customers. I mean, there's tons of numbers I can throw at you of wasted opportunities where someone comes to your website and it's not accessible, so they go to your competitor. You do lose a lot of money, especially coming off the holiday season. I mean, the numbers are out there. So accessibility is very important. And also, I did a lot of accessibility testing on websites for past employers. And again, it's small changes. It's usually not cost consuming to actually change those things. And again, it's small changes like just adding, an alt tag to a logo or something like that, or something to help, apply here that, it just shows up as a button. So those things are easily fixable in the background. So it's not that hard. But one thing also, it's once, people are like, oh yeah, they said we're accessible. The company that made our website says they're accessible. It's not always true. Don't always trust what you're told. go on and do it yourself. And the same thing with our games. Some things we look at the accessibility tips and we did our games, but you have to test it with people who use those daily. So it's a very important. That's a process of your accessibility testing. And I think Teresa Turner, if you're on the call right now, I did a presentation or a retreat with her, a conference we did in West Virginia, and we had a gentleman, now a friend, Joe Stretchy, who is an individual who is blind. And I was like, we were told and we believe our product is accessible. I can't wait to see you do it. And he's like, yep, it's perfect. This is really good. You have some good stuff going on here. So it's really important to understand accessibility. You're not truly accessibility unless you really know you're accessible. So don't believe your third-party vendors. Make sure you're testing it, just like your job application process. So many times where I went through a job application process, I'm like, yeah, it's perfect. Our accommodation process works great. It usually doesn't. So make sure as a company, and if you own your own company, make sure you're going through and testing regularly, because there's always updates too. When people update their websites, accessibility goes out the window. When it comes to games, accessibility is kind of in a different way. We make it more accessible to the employees if we're working for employee engagement. We make it more accessible for other team leaders in the room. All of our games can play anonymous, as you said. I think you're kind of alluding to that. All our games can be anonymous, and that's really important because that helps, what we like to say, amplify those quiet voices in the room. We've been to a meeting where we have those leaders that are loud and just want to hijack the agenda and talk about everything they want, and they want their topics to be heard and everything like that. The anonymous feature in our games in general really kind of level that playing field, so everyone has a voice, and that's accessibility as it is right there. So again, amplify those quiet voices, lower, we don't have to mute them, but we want to lower those louder voices and kind of hear from everyone, and that's what accessibility is, right? Good for
I
everyone.
love it. I think that one question I want to ask, and I see Teresa said exactly, so she's agreeing with your point, definitely. And one question I want to ask the audience is, are you a loud voice in meetings and conference, or are you a quiet voice? Everyone is different. I would probably say I am a blend of both two, but I will probably be a little bit more louder in places where I am comfortable, in places where I feel confident with my knowledge, right? And in places where it's a bit new to me, I might be a quiet voice, right? I still want to share something, but I'm at the same time I'm fearing a little bit that I might probably hijack or move the meeting towards something else, or I get judged because I'm asking a question that makes no sense to most people in the room. So I love it. But be be open with me. Let me know, audience. And Kevin, are you a loud voice usually, or are you a quiet voice? Right?
I'm usually a quiet voice. I'm more of a writer than I'm a speaker, even though I speak mostly for a living. But I'm usually a quiet voice. I always go with the thought, if you don't have anything, really to bring to the conversation, don't say it at all, kind of thing. But I'm also very opinionated. So I love the opportunity to write. So my thoughts come better when they're written. So it's really nice with these games. I have the opportunity to write out my thoughts rather than talk my thoughts. And I've worked with leaders who love to hear their own opinions and want their opinions heard before. And I've known that's kind of muted me in the past. I haven't been able to be that loud voice or share my opinions. And that's what I think is very important about the tool. Everyone gets the opportunity to be involved in the conversation, in the team building, or the whatever you're looking to do, brainstorm. Everyone has an opinion through these games.
That is so true. Actually, Kirsten said something about the fact that she's not able to use the link directly. Kirsten, that's okay. We will try to connect with you and make sure that you have the link later on. And you can always contact also Kevin. He's really, really nice. So do not feel shy. Contact him if you really want to play the game and see if it's something you can leverage as well. Because I think that this session today is just to showcase an opportunity, especially if you have been in meeting where you feel like it's not engaging enough. Then this could be a solution to bring to the table and have fun with it. Okay, but definitely we'll take care of that. I
And
see.
on your screen's a QR code too. You should be able to scan that with your phone if it's not working.
Oh,
We can
yes,
just kind of
let
refresh.
me put it on the side. Yes, you can see there is also a QR code here that you can leverage. Ooh, technology. Yes, love it. Okay, I see Teresa said she usually switch depending on the audience. Or try tools. Teresa also said still can see it either. I think she's referring to the link. So just use your phone and scan, if possible, perhaps the QR code on the screen that we are presenting, and that should also do the trick, hopefully. I'm going to leave it like that just for a little while, but we should be jumping in the game now, right? And I love what you said so far. So basically, just to summarize a little bit, definitely gamification is a good way to get engagement, to get focus, and to get more productivity, and also respect privacy for the loud voices or the quiet voices. So everyone really get a, a playing field to work with or to play with, right? But what I love about gamification also, in general, is that usually when we play a game, we tend to remember the information a bit more longer than reading tons of books, like books. With books, at the end of the day, you probably remember one or two things. With game, it's like because your brain has to process certain things, you keep that information a little bit longer than other things. At least from my own experience, that's what I've noticed. But I'm curious. Again, asking the audience, have you played the game before in your company? Yes, no, just let me know in the comment. All right, so Kevin, I think that it's time to play a little bit of game, and we shall see. Are you up for it?
Yeah, absolutely. Let's do it.
Okay,
And
perfect. I see
Lori,
Sujaya. Just say hi, Teresa. There you go. All right, so you want me to stop sharing this screen and then we can share the other screen?
oh yeah. You want to put that game link on there? That's helpful.
Which game link you want me to take? You
Can you
want to
see
share your screen to
the
with
other
the
one?
game?
Yeah, can you share my screen that I'm sharing?
I am not seeing your screen. This is what I see.
Yeah, that's perfect. That should work. Yep.
Okay.
So go ahead and join that, and I'll start the game.
All right.
So I know we're streaming a little bit, so we have one with a timer. I'm going to avoid that because there's probably a little lag. So we're going to play a game called Headlines.
Oh, I see. The link that I used before had an error. Let me grab. I can maybe do it on my phone as well. Why am I taking the time? There you go. You see me doing it live. Let's
Absolutely.
try the phone thing.
It will bring up.
I switched over from LinkedIn. This QR code work. Okay, perfect, Kristen. Kirsten, I love it. So I'm gonna try to do it myself here with the QR code. Oh, event. Okay, good. Okay, perfect. This is what I see. So perhaps this is what you guys will see as well. So are you all ready to play a game? I am ready. I think so.
Yeah, so we're going to play our first game, or what the first game, the only player game is called Headlines. So this game is really great for a lot of things. It really helps collaboration. It helps connect participants to larger goals, and really gets people's thoughts and really again makes goals for people. So we have a wonderful power up. Again, we've talked about it briefly, but when I came to Good Games, I realized mental health is a huge challenge right now in the world, especially coming off the pandemic. A lot of new symptoms coming, a lot of new heightened symptoms. People are becoming more comfortable with mental health and talking about mental health. So we have a numbers game. People love facts, so we have a numbers game that I use called Numbers on the Edge, where we talk about data and we get people guessing what they think the answers are. And again, that gets people involved. People are guessing, gets that competitive nature out. It's funny, there's a lot of competitive people out there, but there's also people that like to be right. So those get competitive as well. So it brings in all the audience. So with our mental health program, we're seeing through a lot of studies that more people are experiencing mental health symptoms. It's about 76% as a couple of years ago, and it's increased. And people are now talking about mental health a lot more, both inside and outside the workplace. So a study from a few years ago shows 65% are talking about their mental health to someone at work. But the real issue right now is that less than 50% of those individuals, when they talk about their mental health, they're not having a positive experience or received any supportive response. So what we want to do is we created a whole program to help people talk about their mental health and then learn how to support those. So we play a rant game where it's completely anonymous, talking about your different mental health things that you're going through, family, friends, neighbors, things that are affecting your mental health, because we're all going through something, whether small or little, big, something's happening in our lives that's affecting our mental health. So we do that where people anonymously have the opportunity to share things, and that's been very impactful. I get a little goosebumps when I talk about it, because people are going through a lot of things. I mean, it's anywhere from I don't feel like I'm qualified at work to my kids are going through something at school.
Definitely. I think that there is a lot of challenges happening,
Yeah.
and it's a bit hard for some people, and communicating that effectively is also a bit hard. But I'm super curious, when are we starting this game?
Yeah, let's do it. So we're gonna do a mental health challenge. Again, something we need to work on day by day, every day. It's not something just do a yoga class once a month and feel great. So I want to talk about mental health challenges, and I put about 8 different categories on the screen today with a few examples. But I want to talk about our mental health challenges. So do me a favor, go to your game screen, and you're going to see it right there. In this game, you'll be creating mental health challenges for the future. So when I go to the next screen, you're going to see create a mental health thing, and you're going to type in some responses, and you can do as many as possible, right? It's just this one thing. Do as many as possible, hit enter, and you'll see them go to the top of your screen, and then you can delete them if you want, or you can add them all, and then we're going to have the chance to vote on them. So really think hard of what you can do, be as specific as possible. All right, so here we go on the next screen. There you go. So you can enter a name, but you don't have to really enter a name here. Just hit that arrow, and it will take you to a screen. Again, it says create headlines by yourself. Type your mental health challenge here, hit enter, return if you're on a phone, and you can add more if you want. I'm going to share the tab so it will look like this. If you're on the phone, you can always refresh too to get that going. So again, type in your mental health challenge, hit submit. All right.
And the mental health challenge, is it like a question? What is it supposed to be?
It's a challenge. So I put a few examples on the screen before, and I'll do it right now. So there you go. So it can be physical, so taking exercise, right? It can be emotional, connecting with a friend. I know through the pandemic, me and my friends from high school got a lot closer than we were in the past years because we started texting, we started FaceTiming more. We had that time to actually connect with each other, and that's grown our relationship over the past year. So it could be emotional. It could be social, make a date night with your significant other. It could be environmental, something like decluttering your workspace, which I need to work on. It could be spiritual, it could be intellectual, it could be mental, it could be financial. So all these things really do trigger and either decrease or improve our mental health. So we want to focus on making some habits that really work in improving our mental health. So I see a bunch coming in. Yeah. So a lot of stress, anxiety, increased discussion. So make it more specific. Get a little specific on me.
All right, so we have about a few minutes. I'll probably say normally we have about 1 minute left. But let's if it's okay with the audience, let's just take 3 more minutes or 5 more minutes, and we can wrap up. But we're definitely gonna make sure that you have more information later on. So I see something that just popped on my screen, Kevin. I don't know if I'm in the right place.
Yeah, at this point, I wish we had a little more time, but it's okay. So the next screen, you're going to see the opportunity to vote. So we have all our challenges that are anonymously put up there. Now we have the opportunity. It's kind of a headline, a paper. It's kind of silly, right? You have the opportunity to look at that, and you could hit that heart in the middle, make it red if you really like it, and then hit those arrows back and forth to keep on voting on which ones you really like.
Ah, interesting. So that gives us a chance to vote on the topic that really everyone wanna select.
Yeah, something
And
that really stands out is really good. Yeah,
that makes sense. I think that usually in companies, sometimes there are different topics, but we have a hard time selecting. So that is a great uh, a great way to do that. So I'm gonna put like stress.
Yeah, what we do is, yeah, again, we have all these ideas that come out, and then we see who votes. Again, it could
Yes,
be
it's a vote.
3 to 20 people to 100 to 1,000, and we see what really populates to the top, and that's the way you see, like, oh, this is a great idea. This is what everyone agrees with. This is a great idea, and you have all that stuff already.
Yes.
Wonderful data that we present.
I like that. I like that because I think that even loud voices or quiet voices can put really something that matter to them, and then everyone can select what they want, and then we move with the topics that have been the most selected, and and explore that a little bit more. I like that idea.
Yeah.
All right. So what next after that when we select?
Yeah. So then we next screen, we actually have the time opportunity to further that discussion. So on your screen, you'll see it will show. Hold on, let me start the screen. Start the slideshow. So now it's number one was voted on was stop watching the news. Again, we have a couple people here involved. So
It's so stressful.
yeah. So on the right hand side, you have the opportunity to continue the conversation. And what's in the top left, it might say anonymous, might say our name right now. So that will translate over to the right hand side. So I'll say, I totally agree. Stopped watching the news.
Mm. If I see at the bottom, I can enter something.
Yeah. So right
Oh,
there.
and I see anonymous responded. Oh, that is fun.
So basically, if you think about it, Flora, we're talking about some things that we want to talk about as a group, and then we get to the voting. So the best idea is
Oh, I
really
see
populate
it.
to the top, and then you can further the discussion, right? If there's a challenge, we know the action, so the top actions went to the top. Now we can vote and have that conversation about them.
Yes, I see someone also said same. So it's so cool because you can definitely voice yourself, especially for tough topics, right? Sometime around money or sometime about maybe we're talking about, leaders and the way they are leading the team. Anonymous, we can tell everything. They won't know.
Yes, we want. Yeah, again, if you want to get engagement, this is engagement. It's not just sending out a survey with yes, no, or 1 to 5, how you feel. It really has the opportunity to get people's input in there, so it's really good.
Oh, I love it. Okay, that is super fun. Well, we have to wrap up, unfortunately, but this start already is exciting. I love it. I think that we might have another opportunity to have more information from you. But where can people connect with you, Kevin?
Absolutely, good question. So our website, we're actually going through a little bit of a change right now, so I'm going to pull up my notes. So our website is goodfocusgames.com. /home. You can see our tools. You can see what we do, how the games work, the different types of games we have, and some of those wonderful clients that we work with as well, including my friend Teresa, who's on the call today. Thanks, Teresa.
I love it. Teresa even said something around the discrimination. She said, we have used to talk about discrimination in the workplace. And that is so true. If you use this, it's so good because then you can voice yourself freely. Of course, you have to be respectful. Please do not overuse this kind of technology, of solution to batch people. Be respectful because at the end of the day, if it's valuable and if it's really what people feel in terms of the information, it will really help leaders and other people start changing, right? You don't have to say it in front of everyone and feel guilty. You can just share it in a game like this, and people will take in consideration what you are sharing. I love it. I think that it's given a different voice to people who are often voiceless. And I know, for example, people with disabilities sometimes are afraid to share the truth in meetings. So having a game like that, I won't even call it a game. That is a solution that help everyone. Instead of doing a survey and waiting for a long time, why don't you just collect the information right away with this simple solution? I think this is just fantastic. I see Kirsten said, love this. Thank you, Kevin. Oh my goodness, Kevin. I think this is brilliant. I mean, we can play about game, we can ask questions to help productivity, but this itself, with the fact that we can be anonymous, is telling the truth in meetings and allowing people and leaders to know exactly what's going on in the company. All right, so time to wrap up. I just want to say thank you again for joining me, Kevin. It was a pleasure to talk with you. Even when we talked before, I was like, wait a minute, I love this, you know. And audience, if you have something to say, you want to participate and join me as a guest speaker, don't worry, don't feel shy. I'm an open book. I'm very friendly. Just send me a message and let me know what you want to share, and we'll see if there is an alignment. We can talk about it and share it to many more people. But for now, I want to say thank you to everyone, and please join me again next Friday because we are back, and I am gonna still hosting every week on Friday, and I will see you. But for now, enjoy your weekend and Happy New Year again.
Bye. Thank you.